We had a real cool February, March, April started getting warm, and now in May it's hot, and we had a terrific bloom, excellent days for the bees to work. Nice calm days, they get out, do their thing, and the fruit set right now looks fabulous. Now I'll qualify that's very encouraging to a fruit grower. We feel like that we've got the first step done. We're a long ways from having them to market to sell. But just the same, you can't have them later if you don't have them now. There's lots of things that could happen in between. Hailstorms, we can, there's lots of events that could happen. But anyway, starting out with apricots here, and it's been years since we've had a really big apricot crop. And I'll tell you first, what growers will tell you is the biggest problem with apricot trees is they die. And if you look up in the tree here, you'll see a lot of dead twigs. They are not strong, healthy trees. You have to put up with some tree mortality and dead limbs because that's just the nature of the beast. Now, just as nature is, all the bloom generally comes about the same time, but occasionally you'll get one that's weird, and here's one flower left for some reason, and he's rubbing off now, which is okay. But while you're looking here, you can see they don't all make fruit. If they weren't pollinated properly, you'll get these little fellas that will abort, and they're going to come off. We don't have to take them off. They'll fall off on their own. But the point here is, if it's by itself like that, it will make a big fruit. And if you look at the size of these, and then we look over here at this big cluster, you'll see that there's fruit of all different sizes in there. So what we'll do is come in here and try to save the bigger ones, give them space to grow, and that's what I'm getting ready to do today, is to hand thin these things. Just give them room to separate themselves, get light and air in there, and that will help with fungus diseases. Apricots like white nectarines and things are terrible for bacterial infections. You may see fruit at times that's got marking on the skin. It has no effect on the flavor, but unfortunately I, like everybody else, buy with my eyes. If it isn't pretty, it doesn't appeal to us. So too many of them end up into jam. So anyway, we're to do our best job of growing these high quality. Where I see a few of them, I'm going to take them off. Now this particular variety has just a nice crop in it, and I'm not going to do a lot of work on this particular variety. We have never had a big crop of these before. They come very early. So I'm kind of guessing here, but I'm thinking they're going to be about the same time we have strawberries. So I think about the 30th of May, you're going to see these at farmers market. Not many people have grown them because they tend to frost out and not make a big crop. But for us, we're trying to stretch the seasons to provide things as early and late with a kind of fruit that we can. There's another kind of apricot. This is very interesting to us. Sydney spent what I thought was way too much money to buy a couple trees out of California years ago of white apricots, because we heard it was the highest bricks, the highest sugar of about any fruit, tree fruit, that we could grow. We've only ever had a handful of fruit on this. You can see the tree's about, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, something like that. We've only ever had a handful of fruit. This year we got them. So we're anxious to see what they do, bring some to market, give you a chance to try them. Some of the stuff out of California is not tested for cold hardiness, and I think that's been a problem. It also, since they have sometimes a much drier climate, they don't have the susceptibility to rots. So we may have issues with that. But if it tastes right, and that's what we're all about, we're determined to try to grow it and bring you something that's different and better flavored. So look for it. See if we get some for market this year. We'll go on over and show you what a really big crop of apricots looks like. We'll go one more stop. This variety, we got so many varieties of things, we end up giving them nicknames, just like people. We call these pink cheeks. They're small apricot, very orange with a lot of red on it. Very good flavor, very popular at market. They usually make a lot of fruit, and this year they made a whopper amount of fruit. If you look up here at this limb, this little guy here, I most likely, that was too long, so I cut it in half. It does not have a leaf on it. It is all fruit. That, our rule of thumb is 2 inches apart, so that thing's a foot long. You know, that should have 6 on it, and it's got 60. So we're going to take off 90% of the fruit. If you don't, you run the risk of the fruit crowding each other, getting rots in it, it doesn't get air, it doesn't size properly, there's lots of problems. So we spend a lot of money to thin these things, and I can do one limb here to kind of show you. Here's one that's pretty full. Can you get that, Katie?
I think so.
Okay. See, there's a big one here and a big one here. I'm not going to worry with that, but out of these clusters, I'll select the biggest one. And typical farmer, I'm sure I'll leave more than I should, but once you get them, it's hard to get them. Make yourself take them off. I'm taking off smaller ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's too many. I know it's too many. Well, we'll do that. So that should give us the crop we need. Most stone fruit trees, and of course apricots are in that family, the rule of thumb is it takes 40 leaves to make one fruit. So that guy could be in trouble. He has no leaves. But I think really that it amounts to 40 leaves for fruit for the entire tree, because it will translocate some of the energy from one to the other. It is important, the ones that have fruit and leaves will do better than one that all of its energy has to be translocated from somewhere else, transported. So we're going to have a big crop of apricots. We need to get started thinning. They've sized so fast. 2 days ago I looked at them and said, well, we can wait maybe 5 days yet, and I'm starting today. They're big enough, we got to go. Seasons are never the same. This one has, we had to wait. Once it got started, it's come very fast, and you have to be prepared to do your tasks. Strawberries were one of those things that were very much delayed in getting started. We do have lots of flowers in them now, but it's 30 days from flower to fruit under normal temperatures. We're running 10 degrees above normal, so that can get squashed down a little bit. It maybe in 24 days, maybe 28, something like that. What does that mean to us? I don't know if we'll have a Memorial Day. I think Memorial Day is early this year. It's the last Monday of the month, so it's the 25th or something like that. Something like that. I don't think we'll have Memorial Day. We might have them the week after. But traditionally around here, when we grow them on plastic, most people do now. When they were grown in a matted row, they were always called June berries because they came in June. You put them on plastic, you get these southern varieties, they came early, and most of our crop was in May. This year we're going to be back traditional. It's going to be mostly June. It's good and it's bad. Everybody's hungry for strawberries, including me, but you can't make Mother Nature do what she doesn't want to do. You cannot speed that up. The good part is, if you like strawberries, I think you'll have them right through June. Maybe a year we'll have them in 4th of July. We're usually over by then and hoping we can make it, and we can't. This year maybe we will. So that's where we're at. So, see you next time.